Perfect. And good morning, everybody. And you're really welcome to our second session here for our Business and Finance Day. And we're absolutely delighted to be joined by Niall O'Callaghan from ASM Chartered Accountants here in Dundalk. ASM won't be a name unfamiliar to a lot of our final years here. Last year, we had a fantastic presentation from Michael, who is a director. And Michael presented without slides. And I think that was unique across the whole virtual career series, and Niall has now following suits. So we don't have slides. It's very brave, but Niall is perfectly confident enough to deliver this session without PowerPoints. So ASM are a leading firm of chartered accountants in Ireland with offices Belfast, Dublin, Dundalk, Dungannon, Magherafelt and Newry. They have a clear understanding of the issues that impact on businesses in both jurisdictions. And as I said, we're absolutely delighted to welcome Niall. Niall is actually a DKIT graduate from 2005 and took an interesting route into practice, and I'm sure he'll share his story with you. But without further ado, Niall, you're really welcome. I know we have a number of questions already coming in for you, so take it away, sir.
Thanks very much, Anthony. Good morning to everybody, and delighted to be here as part of the Business and Finance Day. As Anthony said, I'm a graduate of DKIT, and after graduating from marketing and e-business in 2005, I worked in Deutsche Bank before undertaking the accountancy exams. I went down the ACCA route, and I only had a couple of exemptions because I didn't do the accountancy and finance like most of yous. So I had to go through the F7F exams, and then I did the professional exams when I started working in ASM in June 2017. So as Anthony said, we've got 6 offices, and the firms Newry and Dundalk are the same company as such, and then the others part of the ASM network. Over the other, they're all individually owned themselves and managed. So to start, I'm just going to give you our core values, and these are what guides us through the working life here at ASM, and they are to be a team player, to be enthusiastic, fun, knowledgeable, and open and honest. So they are our guiding principles, our core values as such, and I'll come back to them in a few minutes. So just to give a bit of background about the Dundalk and Newry side of things, we've over 20 staff at the moment. There's 12 in Newry and 8 in Dundalk, and we do a lot of all parts of the accountancy spectrum. We have a lot of clients. We have a lot of international, UK and Republic of Ireland clients. So most of the staff work across the jurisdictions, and that'll be the same for anybody that was to join as a trainee. So each year over the last number of years, we've been growing, and we did a particularly good year last year, and we're looking to expand from the Republic of Ireland side of things. Like Dundalk will be the office in the Republic, but we're looking to grow from there. So, just to talk about our clients for a few minutes, the largest client of the wider group has a turnover of almost $1 billion, and that's not a client of the Dundalk or Newry office, but some of the types of client we have are involved in, we've got hauliers, we've got clients involved in artificial intelligence, and they are fundraising for the continued process development and the development of smart robots. We've got farmers, restaurants, takeaways. We've got clients who are involved in cloud solutions and providing cloud solutions to their own clients, and solicitors, electrical contractors, shopkeepers, transport companies, pubs, and cafes and wine bars, amongst many others. So we do audit work as well. So we would do audits both of UK, USA and Republic of Ireland companies. We would do audits of their accounts, and we'd also do grant audits or payroll audits for other clients that they have to They need to be independently audited in order to keep their grants from the IDA, or sometimes on the UK side, that it's one of the stipulations that they're audited to ensure that they're following all the guidelines. So obviously we do accounts, payroll services, bookkeeping, and we use the cloud accounting programs, Xero, Sage 1. I'm not sure whether you would have any familiarity with them, but we use them then to produce management accounts. So another key part of what we do, and will be the same, and any of you who go into practice will quickly see that a key focus is tax. And a lot of clients, that's where the beginning and end of the process, and that's where it is. It lies with the tax, and more specifically the tax that they have to pay, and the tax they feel that in most cases feel is a lot more than what they should be paying. And as such, the tax is a big part of what we do. So we would work on research and development credits for a number of clients. It's a fantastic credit on top of a fantastic credit to reduce the corporation tax, basically, and it's paid out over 3 years once they qualify, and a lot of expenses can get in and get relieved from corporation tax. So we have a couple doing that, both Irish and a couple of US firms that we do that for. And very quickly, when staff are working on the jobs, the wages can quickly build up, and as long as they're working on R&D, there's a credit against it of 25%. So it's a fantastic credit to be able to get. So that's a big thing for us. We do a lot of compliance and advisory. We do a large amount of cross-border tax now, because given our location, we would have a lot of clients who both operate north and south, both businesses and sole traders. We have a lot of people who are employees who need to file tax returns because they've got some rental income either side of the border or so forth. So we would do a lot of that, and it's something that we can do a lot of because we've got tax consultants on both sides of the border. So we would liaise between the two offices to cover all the taxes and all the returns that's required for people like that. And we'd also do capital gains tax, income tax, corporation tax, the more run-of-the-mill ones for clients, as I say, both UK and Ireland, VAT. And then with the Brexit situation, and that was a word I was reluctant to use, and probably won't use it again for the rest of the presentation. But due to that incident, it's caused untold taxation and customs situations to evolve for clients. And we had a lot of clients who were prepared, and they were mostly the Republic of Ireland based clients, and then through connections and through networking, we would have got a lot of referrals from English and Scottish accountants, because we were on the border and on the cusp of the situation. And unfortunately, there was an awful lot of UK based people who were simply not prepared. They did not know what they had to do. They did not know how they would go about it. And that was a lot of our work earlier this year after the final passage of the bills, etc., and the legalities of it. So that would be a lot of the tax, and as I say, to be a big focus on that here. So just to talk about some of the staff for a moment, we've a broad range of staff. We have 4 chartered trainees at the moment, and they came from university background. Some of them one fellow worked for years in property, and another chap didn't go to college at all. So there's, I suppose, they've taken different career paths, but there's 4 at the moment. There's 3 directors, and there's 1 accountant in Uri who actually started as a secretary, and she did a secretarial course, then she did the accountant technician course, and then she became a chartered accountant, mostly one after the other. So there's a broad range of staff. I suppose another thing I didn't really want to talk about was the COVID issue, and I suppose, whereas I don't want to talk about it, it would be more that we had to adapt and be flexible with personnel, with work practices. We were working from home, and we had to come up with new ways, I suppose, to support clients. So we would have got through that pretty well in the end. And in fact, at times we were more productive working from home than possibly was the case when we were all in the office. So it took a lot of flexibility, it took a lot of changes, and it wasn't easy getting used to it at the start. But now that we're all back in the office now, about a month or so, we just have got back into the office routine, and very quickly. So we do still work from home, not on a formal basis. There's nobody working at home all the time, or nobody working 3 days at home, but there have been people working from home all since we came back. And I suppose the point there is that there'll be a degree of flexibility that the pandemic has brought about, and that's been maintained, and that'd be something. Whereas any of you who would potentially join, it would be an office-based role, but there would be the as you progress, the flexibility there to work from home a little if needs be. So to what we're looking for, we're looking for 4 trainees to go down the chartered route, preferably. We're not ruling out the ACCA, but it's the chartered route that would be the preferred one here. And they'd be based across our Dundalk and Uri offices. It wouldn't be 3 and 1 or 2 and 2 or 1 and 3. It would depend on the person and what the needs were at that time. The study time would be, of course, as outlined by the Chartered Institute. So I don't know it off the top of my head, but whatever the agreed study time or the preferred study time is, that's what you would be getting. It would be competitive salary in local towns. So this comes up, and whereas I'm not going to give out any numbers or anything like that, the thing about salary is it's bigger in Dublin. I think everybody knows that, and everybody accepts that. And there's 2 sides to that. It might cost you more to live in Dublin, so you certainly won't be getting paid what to do in Dublin. So it would be a folly to compare that or to think that might be the case. And I'll just say that now, rather than potentially from both sides, like if someone came in for an interview, look, we want to talk to them, we want to tell us where we're going, we want to ask them where they're going, how they got where they are at the moment, but then we don't want them going away disappointed. So as I say, I'm just going to say that a salary for a chap in Dundalk or a lady in Dundalk won't be the same as the one that mate's getting in Dublin. And as I say, we'll just get through that. So we would be looking at the person for the role as much as the qualification. So anyone with a 2-2 qualification, we will definitely talk to them. Is that still the terminology?
It is.
It is. So anyone with a 2-2 is like we will talk to. As I say, it's not just academic. We are looking to see the person make to make sure to fit in and the or what we want. So in that, it would be back to what I said a few moments earlier, that the type of person we're looking for and the sort of the core values that we have are, again, team player, enthusiastic, fun, knowledgeable, open and honest. So I think those words speak for themselves, really. I don't need to go through them, but just someone who is, I guess, flexible, they're eager to learn, they're building their knowledge all the time, which would be the case through the chartered Cap 1s, Cap 2s and FEEs, and even, as I said, the ACCA wouldn't be ruled out, because I know that there are a lot of ACCA exemptions for, especially for the accounting. I think it's for most of the Fs. So, like, I'm an ACCA accountant myself, so it's not that there are none. It's just that, as I say, the chartered is the preferred one, but there's going to be no one ruled out for that. And the trainee would get exposure across all aspects, so there'd be no pigeonholing, as in there'd be nobody going to be an audit trainee or a tax trainee or any other designation before it. So the people we're looking for will work across the board. They will work in the tax, they will work on audits, they will work on payroll, cloud accounting, compliance across both the UK and the Republic of Ireland. So it will be a good opportunity for someone who perhaps might either be from the UK and might be thinking of staying here and go back, or somebody who might see themselves ending up in the UK for whatever reason, family, friends, or because, to see better opportunities there. So that's something that definitely we would see. Like, we would have a big focus on the cross border, and even if you're working in the Dundalk office, you would certainly be working on some of the Northern Ireland or UK work too. And likewise, we work we do in the Dundalk office. We do accounts and audits for northern clients, and as I say, it's good. Like, if you think you might work in either jurisdiction, or you're from the border area and you'd be as willing to work in one as the other, there definitely would be a lot of opportunities here to get exposure and therefore enhance your own career opportunities. So yeah, that's what I said here. So yeah, and also some of the other offices would occasionally look for staff for certain projects or certain clients. So we would also, if available, we would have people who would go on secondments to one of the other offices, ASM Belfast. Occasionally they haven't got enough people for the job, and we might provide someone to go and work on an audit for them for a couple of months. So again, that'd be, if someone was interested purely in that, whereas there'd be no one to be purely an audit trainee, there would be opportunities within those areas, all the areas. So yeah, I think we've got a collaborative approach, and within the office and the other offices within the ASM network, it's supportive. So there's supportive in the CPD and further education. So there is someone here doing the charter tax qualifications. So obviously that would be the same as what I'm after saying, that the time off merges with what the Charter Tax Institute give. And so for someone who might see themselves as going down and following up, perhaps that's not somewhere that you might see yourselves now, but in another couple of years, you might say, yeah, well, maybe there are opportunities in the charter tax qualification. It's another complete new door opener, which we won't go into today. But as I say, like we are supportive here if anyone wants to go on and further themselves again. Before the person doing the tax qualification, there was another girl who did the tax technician. So there has been traditionally a culture of knowledge and development, and the company will work with you to, get a mutually beneficial career path. And as I said, that there's opportunities there. We're in another network then of accountants in the UK, and this has led to opportunities for people to move within accountants in the UK. And some of them are in bigger cities, Glasgow, Birmingham. Some of them in smaller cities, Mansfield, probably other places that we wouldn't really hear of. But there have been opportunities in that respect when they're looking for someone, and sometimes it's just some piece of they're looking for somebody who knows a particular area, or they've got a client and they might take someone onto common for a couple of months to bed in a new client if the particular area of expertise is within one of the other clients. So the one where we would be the cross-border compliance and the various needs for clients who are operating both in the UK and Ireland. So I think that's all I wanted to say. I hope I didn't say it too fast.
No, you're absolutely perfect. No, really interesting, and lots of key takeaways, I think, there for everybody listening in, particularly around your values. So I think that's going to be really important when it comes to the application process. So typically, when do you start recruiting, Niall, for final years?
We would start recruiting. Look, I think when people get their exams out of the way, that's the time to focus on that. I wouldn't say to anyone, like, if it's April and May, focus on your exams. Don't be thinking about this, because ultimately it will take care of itself.
Okay.
So I think there's ads going up next week, and but definitely from early summer, we'd be looking for someone to hit the ground running the last week of August, early September of 2022. So
perfect.
That would be probably the ideal time, but do your exams first.
Get them out of the way, so yeah, absolutely. And summer internships then, I know there's a couple of first and second years potentially who might be interested in summer internship. Does ASM do summer internships, or is it on a sort of case-by-case basis?
Yeah, it's something we have done in the past. It was a young girl from St. Vincent's rather than third level, but yes, obviously it hasn't been on the cards this past 2 summers, but
sure,
if there's somebody interested in that, we'd be delighted to talk to them. And I think, Anthony, you'll have all my contact details, and we can pass them on.
Perfect. A question then on the application process, or what has made a CV or an application stand out for you now in particular? What do you think applicants need to highlight on their CV?
Right. Well, look, I suppose to give you a recent example, we went through 9 CVs in July, and 4 of them were terrible. 5 of them were terrible, and 4 of them were good. So, I don't know if DKT or there's workshops or something. It's always something I think would be really helpful to help people, because although people are clever and they're very good at what they do, this is something that you need a little bit of help on to make it look appear, So basically, we're just looking for something, a couple of lines about yourself, your interests, then tell us about your most recent work experience. So go from your most recent back. Don't go back too far now. Just go back 2 or 3. Like if people are 21 and 22 and 23, we don't expect them to be working since 2014. So, you can put in if you went to secondary school. I don't see that as a prerequisite.
Okay.
And then just put in something about your interest. And don't go into, again, don't be telling us every single interest you have, and don't be telling us all the box ticking interests. So just genuinely say what you're actually interested in.
Yeah.
So if you're not interested in something, don't say because generally when we go down through them, we look, and to bring it back again, we are looking for to match someone in with our core values. So that's kind of what we're looking for. So you don't have to be the captain of the sports team. If you're a member of it, that's fine. And just be sort of brief. Keep it to 2 pages. And don't be going overboard on all the histrionics around type settings and facings. Have it presentable, and perhaps, as I say, I think it would be a collaborative approach, and get someone to proofread it, because people will be surprised, but to us, spelling mistakes, terrible grammar, maybe I'm just being a bit pernickety, but I'm already looking and saying, this isn't the one for us now. And ultimately, you have to remember, you're going down a line where precision and presentation is important, and then so that's, I hope I haven't said too much.
No, you haven't. No. And of course, the Careers and Employability Centre here, myself and Catherine, are only too happy to help students, and we have numbers of particularly accountancy and finance students who are very proactive, and the business students coming to us for help with their CVs. So yeah, look, anybody's listening in, make sure you do make an appointment with us. We're only too happy to help you, and they're really good points Niall has made. We have a couple of minutes.
I'll just say again, if you're offered help on your CV, take it. Trust me, just take it. And if you can get it, take it, because, as I say, it's the old adage that half of them are just not even, like, you could be a great candidate, but the impression doesn't come across that way, and next thing you know, bang, no one's looking at you're not reading down the whole lot of it because it's too much.
It's too much.
That's true.
No, really good advice, and I think it's important that students hear that from somebody who's looking at CVs on a regular basis, because if you haven't done one in a while, maybe since transition year, or you've got a part-time job, so you knew somebody who knew somebody, it is a much more competitive process, and as you say, you do need to use those 2 pages to really sell your best attributes, and to map the values of the company that you're applying to. So hopefully everybody was listening to those key values that Niall spoke about. I think that's all of our questions, Niall. Just a massive thank you, I think, on behalf of the Careers and Employability Centre and everybody who was listening in. I think that was really, really informative. The jobs will be posted up on Careers Connect very soon. I know that's where ASM normally puts them up on our careers portal. So students, please go on there and start applying to ASM. They're a really proactive company. You can see the breadth and depth of their practice. And it's great that we have a DQIT graduate in there to help you if you're successful in your application, to ease you into your professional life as an accountant, or any other stream that Niall has already discussed. So Niall, a massive thank you again.
You're welcome, Anthony. I'm delighted to be part of it.
I just see one. Have I one question coming in here? Let's just see. No, just a massive thank you from Pat O'Neill, who's one of the academics here on the presentation.
I think Pat taught me financial accounting back in 2001 or 2. So
there you go.
Nice to see you, Pat.
That's brilliant. And one more coming in here now. Sorry, apologies. We'll finish up. Thanks. I know you have to get back to work.
Thanks.
And people are just saying thanks very much for your time. I found it really informative. So a massive thank you again, Niall. Really great presentation without PowerPoints. And listen, as we said, we'll promote those opportunities to students as much as we can. And the very best of luck.
Okay, well, thanks, Pat. Okay, thanks, and good day to everybody.
Take care, Niall.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.